witches and magical folk. I'm so excited because today we have the Somnia Tarot. I am so excited for this deck. I pre-ordered it pretty much the day it went live. The day it went live in the spring, I pre-ordered it. I had been following it for a couple months before that. And it is finally here. It is finally printed and shipped and in my hands. And I'm so excited. So we're going to take a look at it. I'm going to do this video a little different from my usual tarot videos. Because I'm so excited and because this is a brand new release, I'm just going to do the flip through today, and I'm not going to do the wait a few months, work with it for a while, and then do the second part of the video with a review. I will review this at some point, but I just wanted to get this video out, so I'm going to record, I'm going to edit, and I'm going to post. So that's a little different from my regular format, but it's so exciting. It's so exciting. If you're not familiar with the Somnia Tarot, it is by a photographer named Nicolas Bruno, and all the imagery is based off of his sleep paralysis demons, hence insomnia, somnia, and it is very haunting. It's definitely going to be a shadow work deck, I'm pretty sure. And I don't have any decks that are even close to this. The closest I have is the efflorescent deck. But everything else, all the decks I have are like bright or pastel, like cheery and unicorns. So I'm really excited to have a completely different type of deck in my collection. And we're going to take a look at it. So let's go. So this is the Somnia Tarot. First of all, it came with a little note. Thank you for bringing my project to life. I love it. I know he was like really excited about all the pre-orders and everything. So I was happy too. The deck just comes in this little bag that matches it, of course. We've got a little just a little business card. Here's the deck. Let's take the shrink wrap off. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. The Somnia Tarot by Nicolas Bruno. Explore the world of tarot through the visions of Nicolas Bruno, an artist who transforms his dreams and nightmares into surreal imagery. Each artwork within the Somnia Tarot showcases Bruno's work within the mediums of photography, sculpture, and costume design. So this is just the deck, but I know, and the like little guidebook, but I know he wants to put out like a full artwork book about it. So I'm probably going to get that. Here we've got our little guidebook with just a couple keywords for each card. And here are the cards, which are also shrink wrap. So I thought I would do this flip through a little different from my, I don't know, what I've been doing lately is just like flip through with music. I'm going to have my commentary as I'm looking at these cards. So you can see the commentary as I react in real time. So here we go. So this is already a very, very dark card. I turned the lights on. Like, I turned extra lights on, and it's still, like, barely picking up. So, there's the Fool. The Magician, I like, that they're just, you know, the elements, but they're crossed like a barrier. the High Priestess. I have seen this one. This is on some of the promotional art on the website. I love the 2 columns of smoke being like the pillars. The Empress, her hair covering her face and sewing, you know, a very traditionally feminine task. The Emperor with an anvil hanging over his head. The Hierophant. Ooh. I don't hate this. I normally hate the Hierophant. I don't hate it. I'm really interested in how readings with this will come up. The Lovers. We have obviously like the lovers figures, but then also like we have one tree in bloom and one tree on fire. So, you know, it's about balance, but also a little dichotomy there. And the ladder just going up to the heavens. The Chariot. All these shrouded figures. I like that one's black, one's white, and they're red. What's black and white and red all over? Ooh, strength. Okay. Instead of like the lion's jaws as a literal lion, we have the jaws of a trap. And her just prying them open. The Hermit, instead of walking in, I don't know, like a snowy landscape, we have them walking into the ocean. Love it. It's like the Hermit is usually like you need time by yourself and introspection and stuff, and there's definitely a different like feeling to this as they're walking into the ocean. You know, presumably they're going to drown, and so it definitely gives it a different feel. Got the Wheel of Fortune, clock on fire. Definitely gives the wheel is turning to the downward side vibes. Justice. I like the raising up the sword and having the scales in the other hand, and they're not balanced. That's the other thing that stood out to me. They're not balanced. And again, we have the cross on his back, on their back, and then like going off to something else, tying them down. The Hangman. This one's been on the webpage, so I've seen this. I like, first of all, the Hangman, but I also like that you can see the shadow, the reflection in the water. And I don't think you can, but I kind of feel like you can see their face. It wouldn't make sense with this perspective, but... And you can't really, but there's like slightly different coloring that it makes it feel like it's a different, you can see the reflection. Death, we've seen on the website. I just love this one. I love this. Like just standing in water, nothing around that we can see. And I love that it's white, and death is normally like seen shrouded in black and everything. So it's got the black flag, but death itself is white in the horse. Temperance, we have like an actual like crown kind of around the back of the head, definitely giving it like religious like figure vibes. and, you know, just pouring from a teapot into a teacup. The Devil, I have also seen this card. I've only looked at the pictures of cards on the website. I haven't gone looking for anything else. I feel like I should say that. But we've got the Devil just standing over these two figures. And again, like in traditional devil imagery, like the bonds aren't tight. They don't even seem to be tying them down in any way, shape, or form. They're just like, yeah, we give up, kind of thing. The Tower, this is a very well-known, I can't say well-known, I guess, well-known among people who know this deck. This is the one that got a lot of people's attention. Just a dollhouse burning on someone's back in the ocean. I love this card, and I understand why so many people have gravitated towards it. So, definitely a good tower card. The Star. Now, if you know me, I've really been drawn to the Star and the Sun in the past 6 months, and I love this. I love this Star card. Just like a path up to the crest of the hill, and just like a little light coming over, and we do see some stars over at the top of the sky. And I don't know, I just love it. The Moon. This reminds me of there's a short story in Italo Calvino's Cosmic Comics book, which is one of my favorites. There's a short story called Distance to the Moon, and it's amazing. I feel like you should all check it out. But this really, really reminds me of that short story, which is one of my favorites. And I don't know if this is actually a reference to that, but I love it, whether it is or not. I will always think of that story when I see this card. The Sun. We just have like a little tiny sun over the horizon. That's not the focus at all in this card. What I do find interesting is like this goes all the way down off the card, and again it's red and a white horse. So we saw the red figure in Chariot. So yeah, the sun's just so small. That's such an interesting take on the sun. We have Judgment. Again, we have the crown over the head. Again, the religious imagery. We have the ladder to heaven, not the stairway, the ladder to heaven. And the figures who are awaiting judgment, they're all in like coming out of their coffins. And I also love like the steep slope that's in the background. The World is someone just reading or hiding their face in a book. And I love that, because the world, to reach enlightenment and the end of the major arcana and to inherit the world, knowledge is a big part of that. You never really see it really like depicted like this, but I love this. And also me being me loving books, being a library student, I am always going to take more book imagery. And here we have the Ace of Wands, just coming out of a hole. Again, we have a ladder. And the wand just raised up as a torch. Just like, okay, well, we were down in the hole, but we're coming out now. We're gonna, we're gonna start something new. We're gonna be good. Two of Wands, I have also seen this, and I like how, like, one wand is behind them and one wand is being carried and carried forward. And also I just like that, that opening with the stone arch, but, it's very much like you have to move forward from whatever that wand represents, and just like going on a new path. Three of Wands, just just three burning torches. This is just solid black, so this is just all solid black, and it looks kind of like a mountain. It's not, but it looks like it, and just these burning torches. And this one's kind of held triumphantly. And these are other figures holding them, but this one's definitely leading the way. Four of Wands. This is usually such a joyous card, and instead we have two people like just sitting, questionably enjoying each other's company, but just like, it's usually we see like a family or at least like a group of figures, but here's just two of them, and there's like it looks like they're supposed to be like, I don't know, sitting and enjoying a meal or something, but instead it's just candles on the table. Definitely a different connotation to so many of these cards. Five of Wands. Ooh. So we have someone just like disembodied hand holding the candelabra out. But what is interesting is we have someone else with bellows, and bellows usually are to make a fire hotter, like a forge fire hotter, but here it's putting out the candles. So it's like, it's not being used for its intended use, and it's actually being used for the opposite, which I find really interesting. All these cards are interesting. Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a very triumphant card, usually with like the laurels and like a crown and stuff. So we have kind of a crown. We have these candles raised up over their head, kind of in a triumphant pose. And this looks like they're on a podium. It's not, but it gives the impression of being on a podium. But with everything, it's very dark and somber about this imagery. It's not as joyous as normal. Seven of Wands. It looks like, my first impression with this is, I see now like this person's facing this way, but because like the shield, but the way I first saw it was that the shield was on their back and they were going that way, and I was like, it looks like an angry mob chasing someone, but clearly they're like, riling up the troops or whatever, and they're going all together, but yeah, that's that was my first impression. We've got the Eight of Wands. I love that they kept the imagery of like the wands at an angle, but it's actually like the chandelier we know is swinging like this way, but the wands are well, they're facing this way. So I find that really interesting. I also like that it looks like this person is just sitting like at a fancy table out on the beach side, but then there's a candelabra somewhere just randomly hanging. Ooh, 9 of Wands. This is so interesting. They're walking off into the water. I like that they're walking into the water, but they have an umbrella, like it matters if they're gonna get wet. They're walking off into the water though. And then we're leaving this behind. There's an anchor. I can't tell if like the anchor is like, there looks to be maybe a chain there. I can't tell if the chain is tied to them. Or if that's just, that might actually just be the candelabra. But, yeah, they're just like leaving this kind of wreck behind and going forward into the water with an umbrella. 10 of Wands. We have the same kind of imagery from the Emperor with this, but instead of an anvil over their head, they just have, you know, a chandelier, and just tied to here, like usually like the imagery of this is like the wands tied to their back or carrying too much of a burden, and here it's like it's tied to them, but also like the post is supporting some of that, and the post is supporting some of that here, but still overwhelmed and still not really able to move much. So it's an interesting take on it. Page of Wands. We have just a candle floating in front of their face, and then we have more candles and just I don't know, just like sitting there thinking, just not, you know, the Page of Wands is all about like new ideas and potential for new ideas, and so they're just sitting there thinking, maybe writing, not sure, but like they've got books and they're just they're just starting their thought process. So we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is usually like a little fast moving, not as fast as the Knight of Swords, but not nearly as slow as the Knight of Pentacles. but the horse isn't speeding, just, you know, carrying this. Again, the candle is actually like attached to their face, which I guess was in the Page of Wands too, and so I guess that's like one of the things tying the core cards together maybe. But yeah, the Queen of Wands, again, the candle in the face, just sitting there surrounded by wands, so, you know, abundance and I guess like trying to shed light on stuff. There's candles. They're not doing a great job, but, you know, trying. And then we have the King of Wands sitting and reading. Again, all that knowledge, those ideas, surrounded by candles. I also I like that the Queen of Wands is facing forward and the King of Wands is facing to the side. If you put them side to side like this, it looks like he's looking at her, but also just like the difference between facing head on and approaching from the side. So now onto the cup suit. So this is the Ace of Cups. Okay, getting water from a well. like the hand crank. I also like the water is overflowing from the well itself. Like there is just so much water, so much to give. The Two of Cups. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I like this. I like this a lot. First of all, like the two buckets of water like spilling, like first of all the way that they're spilling like as crossing each other, but then also they're spilling to create an arch over them. And we have the white and the black, and you know, two people just hugging each other. I really like this. I really like this. I'm a big fan of Two of Cups in general. Just, you know, nice, happy partnership. But I really like this. Three of Cups. I think this is interesting. So we've got the three, we've got the black, red, and white once again. And they're pouring their buckets out, but like they don't need to. It's already overflowing. They don't need to pour their buckets out into this. So I guess teamwork to flood the place makes the dream work. Also like this one, I don't think the camera is going to pick it up very well, but this one, you can almost see, like you can see that, like eye sockets and stuff. So Four of Cups, we have just like carrying water. So like carrying water either blindfolded, and then we have two buckets here that are about to trip them up. So all that water is about to spill, but they can't see it. They can't see it coming. Five of Cups. Just umbrella tied to their back with their hands around their back. The umbrella is an interesting addition. Oh, hello, Felix. Hi. You want to come over here? No. Okay. Just like standing in the middle of this pond, and I like that like the cups have spilled over, and it kind of like gives the feeling that it had flooded all this. It hadn't, but it kind of gives that feeling. But the real message is like, yes, two cups spilled, but like we already have all this water. Like don't worry about spilling those. Six of Cups. So six is all about like childhood, nostalgia and everything. And here we have like one person filling the other person's cup. We have the well in the background again. That was part of Ace of Cups. And I don't know, like she kind of looks fairly young, not super young, but I don't know, just the style of dress feels like a style for a younger person. But and then like this feels like an older woman. Definitely getting very Polish grandmother vibes. Seven of Cups. I love Seven of Cups here. We have so many, like we have different choices, and I love them. Like I love the head in the middle. We've got books, we've got knowledge, we've got money, growth, overflow of water, So, and fire and smoke. So we've got the four elements, and we've got knowledge versus money. So, and then like the face staring you down. And so I really like this one. I'm not like super drawn to Seven of Cups in general. It's just one of those like, okay, when it comes up, it comes up. I'm very ambivalent to it, but I really like this one. We've got the Eight of Cups. The divide between the cups being over here and the figure being over here and, you know, walking away. There's an actual divide, and yeah, you really get the feeling that they're moving away from them completely. Nine of Cups just overflowing. They're just like in this little crevice among the rocks, the sheets of slate, and just stacked up, just lots and lots of water, an abundance of water. 10 of Cups. Oh, I love this. I love this so much. So, first of all, again, the crisscrossing. I love the crisscrossing. But also that this one's pouring into this one, and so on, and then they're pouring out together. And I just really love that, like, the 10 of Cups is about, like, a happy ending, happy life, happy marriage and family, and, like, all your dreams have come true kind of thing. But it's definitely about, like, working with other people to fill each other's cups, kind of. And so like I like that because it is about like happy relationships. I like that they're working together to fill, and just like and it trickles down. It actually trickles down, unlike economics. The Page of Cups. Okay, I love the little scuba helmet. I love it. This is just it's really interesting. I don't know, like I kind of feel like it's a fish shape behind it. It might be like another circle, but I feel like it looks like a fish shape from what we can see. It's just like pouring from one into the other. And it's almost overflowed, but there's also a bottle that when it overflows, it's gonna tip out. Knight of Cups. The horse just standing still, not really like caring to go anywhere. It's just standing there and just letting the water flow, and then like the water is flowing around them. Maybe not flowing, but it's definitely rippling around them. And just yeah, I like the knight letting the water just flow from the bucket, like almost like they're not paying attention. They're just like, the way they're holding it is like they're not paying attention. It's just they got a little careless about how they were holding it, and it's just losing all the water, kind of. Queen of Cups. I love the Queen of Cups. And we have, so she's holding the bucket and has a plant at her feet that she's pouring water into. It looks like it might be too much water for that plant. You don't want to, overwater a plant in its roots. I've learned from experience. But also, like, she's facing that way, unlike the Queen of Wands that we saw earlier. And then now I can see the King of Cups is facing outwards, unlike in the Wands suit where they were opposite. So I found that find that interesting. So here we have the King of Cups. He's sitting among all this water. They're just sitting there. They're just sitting there. Not really like, it's not at a level to worry, to be concerned or anything, but there's just buckets floating around, and a whole, like a stream, a steady stream of water pouring on his head. Yeah, just doesn't care. Gives no fucks. So we're on to the sword suit. Ace of Swords just holding up the sword out of like a box. It feels like an old-timey like cooler freezer kind of thing. I appreciate the kind of almost Lady of the Lake imagery with the water behind it and then like the smoke and everything. I think it's great and a nice play on the traditional. Two of Swords is fairly traditional here with the two swords and the water and the blindfold. This one's fairly traditional, which is fine because it already, like, the Two of Swords already fit this deck. Honestly, it's just like, yeah, don't know what to do. Doesn't even look like there's anything that they're sitting on. It's just them in the water. Three of Swords. Oh, this looks like it combines this with the Nine of Swords. This definitely is like very Nine of Swords energy as well, with the hunched over and the Sword of Damocles, you know, ready to stab. Four of Swords. I love the swords being held, like being used as kind of like stakes to hold the blanket down so that they can sleep. I love that. Five of Swords. Okay. So normally the Five of Swords has a whole bunch of other, like a bunch of other figures in the card. Like they're all fighting and everything. Here, instead, this one person is just like caught in these ropes and can't reach the swords to cut themselves free. They're trying to get up the ladder, but swords are up there and the ropes are keeping them tied down. That's an interesting take on it. I love it. Six of Swords. I love this. When someone was looking at it on the webpage, when I sent them the link, they were like, "Oh, that's such a great Six of Swords," and I couldn't figure out what they were talking about because it was like, this is very Six of Swords energy, but I only saw Five of Swords, and it was like, this doesn't fit Five of Swords. It took me forever to see the sixth sword, the one that's actually letting loose the sand so that they can fly free. And I just love this. I love this. Seven of Swords. This, so they're like running away or walking away, I guess it's pretty heavy. They're walking up a very steep hill with like a treasure chest on their back with all the swords sticking into the treasure chest. But it also gives me, vibes of magic shows where they like stick all the swords in a box and an assistant, which is also like trickery, of an innocent kind, but still this card is about deceit and trickery, so that goes in line with it. Eight of Swords. Unlike the Two of Swords, Eight of Swords and Two of Swords have very similar energy to me, but I mean, obviously they have like slight differences. But the Two of Swords, she was facing towards us, and this one's facing away from us, still blindfolded and surrounded by swords, unlike Two of Swords where they had the swords and could have cut off their blindfold. These are a little out of reach, but still there, but bound and not able to see. So Nine of Swords, the anxiety card, the depression card. You definitely, here, I definitely get more of a feeling of depression than anxiety. This is definitely more depression than anxiety than I normally get from a lot of the other Nine of Swords. Kind of looking like they could just roll over and fall off into the lake. And then we have the Ten of Swords. Just the swords came down. It's almost the same as this chest. So it definitely feels like a little story here that the actions of this card came back to stab them in the back. Pretty literally. Page of Swords. I like this. I like it's almost monotone color. We've got the sword just standing up there, and they're looking through a telescope, and I just like looking to see what they can see and seeing what's out there. The Knight of Swords. So this is like the fast action oriented knight, and I don't know if you can tell, I was a horse girl. The neck outstretched is a sign of like the horse moving fast, but it's not outstretched, and you can see the legs are in line with each other, so it's more that like the fog behind it kind of like gives the illusion of the horse moving fast and like kicking up dirt and stuff. But it's obviously like the knight wants to move forward, and the horse is like, okay, but no. Definitely not as like swift moving as normally the Knight of Swords is. Queen of Swords. I like it. Kind of feels like she cut off the blindfold of that we saw in the Two of Swords and Eight of Swords. It looks like she cut off the blindfold and is just like free. You can sit on her throne. The waves are in the background. She's not in the water, and just has found her freedom. And again, she's facing that way in this suit, and the king is facing forward to us. So here's the King of Swords. We have the sandbags again. It definitely feels like this could be on the other side. Like, that's an interesting story between them. Again, he's facing us. He's very confident in how he's sitting. Get the sword in the hand, ready if needed, and maybe he's the one who split the sandbags so that the Six of Swords could take off. The Ace suit, again, coming up out of something. This is out of a chest, I guess. Coming up and holding up that pentacle, that coin, and just like, yes, we are here now. Let's begin. Two of Coins. I've seen this one. This is I love this. Like, we've got the two coins, like traditional imagery. They're not even. One's a little above the other, and if you're familiar with tarot, you know they usually make the infinity sign, which we can kind of see with how he's holding it with his arms. Love and hate these chairs and how they're so they're balanced, but they're so balanced precariously, and that's definitely like 2 of coins energy. You're balancing, but for how long? You're juggling things, but it might come crashing down. Also, when I saw this picture on the website, just as a note, when I saw this, I thought he was holding clocks, and they kind of look like clocks, you know, but I thought he was holding clocks. They're not, but that would have given it a little extra interpretation there. So I might still, I mean, it still makes sense. Like, you only have a certain amount of time before this comes toppling down on you. So it still works. We've got the 3 of coins. We have the 2 coins just well, I guess floating there. And then we have the 2, the one being held by 2 different people, like establishing that teamwork and that you need to collaborate with others and share. 4 of coins. I thought it was interesting that of 4 cards so far, we've only seen 1 actual, like, full body figure. So, that's interesting. Anyway, 4 of coins, burying their coins so, you know, nobody else can get them. The hoarding. 5 of coins, suffering, just living in a barrel, kind of, like, covered in dirt. They're all alone, not really sure, like, what to do to get out of there. We've seen a lot of, like, the coins floating, but it's also, like, it's really interesting to me that, first of all, that they're floating above where they can't see, which is, you know, in line with the 5 of coins. You just can't see where help is for you, but also that they kind of make a house shape. They could lead to shelter, but they're not seeing it. 6 of coins. 6 of coins is about, like, charity and sharing, not being greedy. Here they're, like, offering up this figure. We don't see their face. They really give me priest Catholic Church vibes, like offering, I forget what they call it. Oh my god, it's been like 20 years since I went to Catholic Mass, but like the offerings that they give during Mass, this card reminds me of that. But I don't have the best memories with the Catholic Church, so it definitely gives me a negative connotation, especially how they're bowing their heads, genuflecting. I don't know. I could go on forever about former Catholic doing tarot, but this just definitely gives me like Catholic Church vibes. 7 of coins. We've got the harvest ready for picking, usually in a 7 of coins, but their head is down and they're just like standing facing away from it, so they're not happy about what they have harvested, which is an interesting take on it. 8 of coins, the hard work, the repetition, just traditional kind of imagery, but also we've got again this hanging post that we've seen a couple times now, and it's above him, which kind of gives, like, with the pentacles and this repetition and hard work, kind of gives him, like, it's hanging over his head that he has to do this, he has to master this, or things aren't going to go well. 9 of coins. Oh, we have some sunflowers. I love sunflowers. I did not expect them in 9 of coins, but I love them. I like that these are just kind of like fence decorations, just chilling as she's like looking at a big meadow, holding some flowers in her arms, and it's definitely like one of the most hopeful cards in this deck. The 10 of coins, we have the coins just coming out of this chest, all on their own. Nobody's dragging them out. There's nobody dying in the chest. They're just coming out and ascending. It's bountiful and there for whoever gets there. Definitely a different vibe from when we've seen this chest before. So Page of Coins, again, we've got a hole. Definitely like someone excavated this this coin, and he's just staring and contemplating, like thinking about what to do with it. Just got it, holding it in his hands, haven't taken any action yet. So Knight of Coins. The Knight of Coins is very slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. I get it a lot. The horse is moving forward, but he's like moving slow enough that he can hold this up and not have to hold onto the reins at all, and be comfortable with that, and nothing's falling. Just slow and steady. Slow and steady. So we've got the Queen of Coins again facing that way. There was only one. Only the Queen of Wands was facing this way. We got the Queen of Coins holding it in her hand. We've got more around here again, like that abundance, that bounty, and the landscape is nice and lush. It's very like comforting area. The pentacles are the earth sign, and so we've definitely got that in here. And she's like sitting up straight. She has a rope around her neck, but that is just holding the fabric down against her face. Is not holding her to the chair, but she is still sitting nice and straight and confident. And here we have the King of Coins holding it in his hands, just very much like holding the world in his hands. We've got some sand falling down here. We've got the chests and more coins, and just chilling. Just very confident in who he is and what he has. This is the Somnia Tarot deck. I'm so excited for it. Since I'm not doing a wait for a few months kind of video, I want to just go over like the texture of the cards. Definitely like the texture of the cards definitely feels like playing cards. They're bigger than playing cards, but like I don't know, like the sides of the cards feel like playing cards. I haven't felt this exact texture in a really long time. The back is not, well, it's not like the same, holding it upright and reversed, but I know some people care about that. I don't. I don't look at cards like cards backs as I'm pulling them, so it doesn't matter to me. I'm really excited for it. I am really excited to start working with this, since I will not be doing a review in this video. Let's see how they shuffle. They're a little stiff, not nearly as stiff as some of my decks, like the last unicorn, but they're a little stiff, but feels like they will loosen up with using them. But they shuffle really well. If you have smaller hands, you might have trouble with them, but then you can always, shuffle like this, which I can't do. I can't do that. Thankfully, I'm able to shuffle pretty much every deck this way, so I don't have to. They come apart very easily. They're not stuck together or anything. They just like fall very easily. They feel really good. They feel like playing cards. The edges are nice and crisp. I like the feel of them, And the vibe I get from these is very still, a lot of stillness. Even in the cards that are traditionally moving, that are very movement focused, like the Knight of Swords, the Six of Swords, it still feels very still, like just like captured at that moment in time. Nobody's moving. It's definitely going to be a shadow work deck for me. I can feel like to use in those moments of stillness when I'm not sure where I should be going. So I'm excited. Shall we pull a card and see what, I guess, the vibe. What's the vibe? I don't know. The vibe for this deck. The Chariot reversed. The vibe of the deck is stillness, is not going forward. And if you do go forward, it's going to be recklessly and you'll lose control. So don't go forward. The deck is about stillness. And I definitely feel like this deck is very still. Very still. I'm excited. I'm so excited to start working with this. This is Somnia Tarot. If you want to see more, I do a lot of tarot unboxings and flip throughs and reviews, and a lot of other witchy content and crafting content and witchcrafting content. So if you want to see more, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, and all my links are down below if you want to check me out on other social media. Have a wonderful, magical day.